We will start first today Shakespearean tragedy, and one of the most important Shakespearean tragedies is Hamlet. So all literature students, we are all aware about, read about, heard about Hamlet. Without knowing about Hamlet, no literature student of English literature student cannot complete or cannot get the graduation or post-graduation degree. So Hamlet is a well-known character, but at the same time the most confusing character in the English literature. So I come with one small strategy that we will first go with the characters, names of the characters, then the relationships among the characters, and then we'll study the mind map. I told you, mind map is always helps us to recollect information, Ghosh. So on the right side of the screen you can see the mind map of Hamlet. Is it visible to you?
Yes, sir.
So the central character is Hamlet, and how the other characters are connected to the central character, and the names of the characters and what are the connections, what is their or background of the character also we are trying to understand. So I'll try to finish it very quickly as Hamlet is known to most of us. Now, who is the central character of Hamlet, Mr. Ghosh?
Hamlet only.
Hamlet, right. So who is Hamlet? He is the son of King Hamlet and Gertrude, and he is the one who is the what you call legal heir, or the next one who has to take the kingdom after his father Hamlet died. But who became the king? Who became the king after
Claudius.
Who is Claudius? He is uncle of Hamlet. Uncle of Hamlet, but after the father Hamlet was killed by Claudius and Gertrude by pouring poison into the ears of the senior Hamlet or father Hamlet, Claudius married Gertrude and he became the king of the country. What is the name of the country in which Hamlet, Claudius, Ophelia, Gertrude, Polonius were all struggling to survive?
That is Denmark.
Right. So what is the real name, title of Hamlet, Goji?
Sorry, sir?
What is the full title of Hamlet?
Hamlet, the Prince of Denmark.
The Tragedy of Hamlet, Prince of Denmark.
Yes.
The Tragedy of Hamlet. And what is the subtitle?
Prince of Denmark.
Prince of Denmark. So who is the Prince of Denmark?
Hamlet.
Hamlet. Right. Before Hamlet reached the funeral, to attend funeral, when he reached funeral, before he reached, Claudius married to Gertrude. So when Hamlet reached the funeral of his father, he was shocked to see his mother Gertrude was already married to Claudius. That means at the time of funeral only, Hamlet understood that his mother married to his uncle. Now let us see the characters here. You must be knowing who is Ophelia, the love interest of Prince Hamlet, and Polonius is father of Ophelia and he is a counselor to King Claudius. Okay, now let us come back to the right side of the mind map. Is it visible, right side mind map, Venkatesh sir? Venkatesh sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it's visible.
Now, this is the central character who is Prince of Denmark, seeks to avenge his father's death. So, Shakespearean tragedy Hamlet is also known as revenge tragedy. So, which one is revenge tragedy, Ghoshji?
Hamlet.
Hamlet. And Hamlet is the lengthiest play of Shakespeare. Are you aware about this fact?
It is the
Lengthiest of entire Shakespearean plays. So Hamlet is a prince of Denmark. Before he come to Denmark, where was he? Ghosh. He was a student of some university, correct?
Yes, sir.
What is the name of the university?
Sir, for what?
So if I do it in a very quick manner and to start the next stories, then it will not be satisfactory. So let me explain properly. So Hamlet,
Yes,
who is a prince of Denmark, he was studying in a university, Edinburgh University, correct? Could you recollect?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Edinburgh. So he was sent to that Edinburgh University. Where is that Edinburgh University? Germany? The questions comes in this way only, Ghosh and Venkatesh sir. They ask you questions about the background of the story. If they ask you who is, they will never ask you who is Gertrude to Hamlet. That is the easiest question. Everybody knows. The questions frame or question structure will be like this. Before Hamlet attends the father Hamlet's funeral, he was studying in a university. What is the name of the university? They'll give 4 options: Cambridge, Oxford, Massachusetts, and Edinburgh. What is the right answer, Goji?
Edinburgh.
They will ask you one more question. The university in which Hamlet was studying before he reached Denmark to attend father's funeral. In which country? What is the name of the country where the Edinburgh University was there?
Denmark.
He is in Denmark. If Edinburgh University is in Denmark, then why would he go to other country? Goji.
Yes, sir.
Find out, Google it. Tell me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Quick. So Venkatesh sir, you understood the question structures?
Yeah, I'm going through.
So they don't ask you the relation between who is Ophelia, who is Polonius. They will ask you background type of.
Sir, it is in Scotland.
Scotland. Right. Right. So he was in Scotland, and when his father's death reached him, and he came to Denmark to attend the father's funeral. When he came to Denmark to attend his father's funeral, he already found that his mother Gertrude already married to his uncle Claudius. Correct? Goji?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, if you see the connections here, Gertrude is the queen. I'm just pointing first mother. Gertrude is Hamlet's mother. She is queen and widow of the late king and wife of Claudius. So she was the ex-wife of senior Hamlet and the present wife of Claudius. Then who is her husband and who is the father of Hamlet? King Hamlet's Ghost. So Hamlet's Ghost is appearing in this play, and the Hamlet's Ghost has returned to Castle Elsinore. What is the name of the castle?
Elsinore.
Right. So they'll ask you a question. What is the name of the castle in which the father's Hamlet ghost enters? It is Castle Elsinore, to tell Hamlet that Claudius is his murderer. So who told Hamlet that his father was killed by Claudius? Venkateshwar sir, Goshi. Who informed Hamlet that his father was killed by Claudius?
Sir, I think some servants.
Claudius to his.
It is King's Hamlet Ghost only. In the Act 1, Goji, in the Act 1, when his Hamlet's best friend Horatio was doing the night duty or security duty, gods came and told him that appearance of the ghostly structure or ghostly operation or ghost, and they suspected that it is the Hamlet's ghost. When this information reached to Horatio sent the information to King Hamlet or this Prince Hamlet. When Hamlet learnt about this ghost appearance, and he wanted to talk to the ghost, because suspecting that generally in those days in Elizabethan period, ghosts are actually evil characters. So that means they don't believe in the ghosts. But Hamlet tried to meet the father ghost or the ghost to understand why the ghost wants to meet him. So when he meet King Hamlet's ghost, he was told by the Hamlet's father or the ghost or Hamlet's ghost father that he was murdered by Claudius. Now the confusion is, can Hamlet believe in the ghost's words?
Initially, he will not believe.
Why didn't he believe? The reason is, he is a Catholic. He has a Catholic beliefs. It was told to him in a religious manner that ghosts are evil and they are trying to manipulate and exploit human creatures. So he was in a confusion whether to believe or not to believe. So that is one of the most important characteristic features of Hamlet, to whether to believe or not to believe. So when that confusion enters, it leads to procrastination and it leads to irresoluteness. समझ में आ गया अभी तक गोजी?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But sir, who informed Horatio about the appearance of the ghost?
The soldiers who were in the night duty. They informed the appearance of the ghost. They suspected that it is a ghost of Hamlet.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now let us see Claudius. Another character is Claudius. Who is Claudius? He is a brother to King Hamlet and he is the murderer of King Hamlet or Father Hamlet. King of Denmark marries his sister-in-law and ascends to throne after death of King Hamlet. That means in examination they may ask you a tricky question. Claudius married whom? And they will not give you the names, Gertrude. They will give you sister-in-law, daughter-in-law, and then 3-4 questions will they give. So who is actually Gertrude to Claudius? She is sister-in-law.
Sister-in-law.
Sister-in-law. Because if they ask you who married Claudius, then answer will be 100% correct by any literature student other than those who study. It is Gertrude. But if they give you relationship, not name, then we may get confused. So Claudius married his sister-in-law and who is happened to be his Gertrude. So she is now husband. He is now husband to Gertrude and Gertrude is the wife of Claudius in the present scenario. Then Claudius has an advisor, counselor, and his name is Polonius. Who is Polonius, Ghosh and Venkatesh?
Advisor of
Advisor of Claudius.
Advisor or counselor. And
Council of
Claudius Lord Chamberlain. Technical word is Polonius is Claudius Lord Chamberlain. Okay, Ghosh?
So what does it mean, Chamberlain?
Chamberlain, I don't know exactly, but Lord means they were the assistants of kings who owned land. They are the righteous owners of the land. They are called lords and they are working under the kings. They are in the second stage of the royalty.
Yeah.
And he belongs to Lord Chamberlain. That must be a separate group of the lords.
Okay.
Right. Any doubts, Ghoshji?
Sir, Chamberlain is the name of place.
Maybe some, but you need to remember Claudius is a Lord Chamberlain and he is a assistant or a counselor to Polonius.
Okay.
Right. Next, can you pronounce the name of his son, Polonius' son?
That is Let's.
Goji.
That is Lattes.
Laerts. Shall we listen to the pronunciation? Lae.
Yes.
Because most of us, we have a wrong pronunciation of this character. Laertes. Pronunciation. Let us listen to the pronunciation.
Laertes or Laertes.
What is the pronunciation?
Laertes.
Laertes. They may not ask you this kind of pronunciation in examination, but in interview, when you are asked to explain anything about Hamlet, and if you mispronounce the names, maybe it is not a serious offense, but there is a chance that you have not picked up the right pronunciation of the important characters. So how do you pronounce this one, Ghosh? Laerts?
Lattes.
Lattes. So whatever the pronunciation you have known, at least up to from here after, try to understand the pronunciation. So
sir, you pronounce the letter H as H. I always listen you pronounce it as H, but I actually pronounce it as H only. H.
Right. So how do you pronounce, Mr. Venkateshulu, this name?
Laertes.
Right. So he is the son of Polonius and he returns from France. So he was in France, and when he came to know the news of Hamlet murdering or killing Polonius, he was called by Claudius. So he returns from France.
Sir, who returned from France? Polonius.
Polonius' son. Polonius' son. He is the son of Polonius. Polonius is the father of Laertes. So he returned from France. So question in exam, I have seen one question. From which country Laertes reached Denmark to avenge his father's death? So he came from France. Just a minute.
Yes, sir. Actually, you told that Laertes is returning from France. Actually, you told the last sentence.
Right. And then we have completed the character of Hamlet, Gertrude, King's Hamlet father or King Hamlet's ghost, and Claudius, Polonius, and Laertes. Now we have Ophelia. Who is Ophelia? Ophelia is the daughter of Polonius. Who
But
goes,
before Ophelia, one second, explain about Polonius and Latres. Means you didn't explain Latres
right.
completely. Yes.
Okay, so Polonius is a counselor or an advisor to Claudius, and Polonius has two children. One is Latrus, another one is Ophelia. Ophelia is a daughter, and Latrus is the his son. And he was sent to France, and there is a great quotations or quotes from Shakespearean Hamlet about Polonius' wise advices or advices is wrong, wise advice given to his son that never be a borrower or lender. Right, that means Polonius told his son how to live and how to survive in an alien country or a different country. And when Polonius was killed, I'll tell you the story. What happened in when King's Hamlet was, when Hamlet's ghost informed Hamlet about the murder of King Hamlet by pouring the poison into the ears by Gertrude and Claudius, then Hamlet wanted to take revenge. So that is why it is called revenge tragedy. So Hamlet killed, instead of Claudius, by mistake he killed Polonius. That I'll explain Act 1 when I come to Act 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And when that information reached to his son, because Claudius sent that information to Latrus, who when he was studying in France, and to avenge his father's death, Latrus returned to Denmark, and he was told by Claudius that Hamlet killed his father. So he also wants to take revenge. Hamlet also wants to take revenge. So that's why it has become a revenge tragedy. And Polonius has daughter who is Ophelia, and Ophelia is madly in love with Hamlet. So Ophelia is a Polonius daughter who goes mad, and finally she was drowned after Hamlet mistreats her and murders her father. So she became mad and she drowned herself in a water body. समझ में आया घोष जी?
Why is he drawn?
Because she was rejected by Hamlet, and Hamlet became mad, and Hamlet killed her father Polonius. And she was not actually committed suicide. She was near a water body and she was trying to pick some flowers or something, and she accidentally fell into the water and she was drowned.
Okay, sir.
Right? समझ में आ गया अभी तक?
अभी तक समझ में आया.
So Hamlet is a central character, Gertrude is his mother, and King Hamlet is his father, or ghost Hamlet is his father. Claudius is his uncle who married to his mother Gertrude, and Claudius counselor or advisor is Polonius, and Polonius has daughter Ophelia. She is a love interest of Hamlet, and Latrus is a son of Polonius. And when Hamlet killed Polonius, by mistake thinking that he is actually Claudius. How it happened I'll explain in the later part of the class. And then it was informed to Latrus, and Latrus came to Denmark to avenge his father's death. And Ophelia was the daughter of Polonius. She was the love interest of Hamlet. She felt miserable when she was deserted by Hamlet, and when Hamlet killed her father Polonius. And we have two more characters, and one is a major or important character in the play Hamlet, that is Horatio. Horatio is a comrade or a friend of, confidant of Hamlet. Okay, and he is the one who was alive at the end of the entire play. At the end of the play Hamlet, everybody was killed, and Horatio was asked by Hamlet to explain or narrate the story of his tragedy to this world. And in between we came about two characters called Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, who were the childhood friends of Hamlet school, brought to Denmark to spy on Prince for Claudius. So Claudius engaged these two old school friends of Hamlet to spy on Hamlet. So this is the characters introduction only. Now if you have any problem to understand the introduction of characters, you can ask me, Ghosh.
Sir, why Hamlet rejected Ophelia, though they are in love relationship? But I know that his father has been killed and murdered by Hamlet. But still, as they are in intimacy, they are in love. So why Hamlet has rejected Ophelia?
You want the psychological answer or just an answer for the question?
Just an answer for the question.
Okay. So Hamlet acted like a madman. He is not actually rejected Ophelia. He acting like he is rejecting Ophelia, and he was overburdened by the weight of taking revenge of his father.
Okay.
He was not actually mad. Polonius realized that he was not mad during different conversations and in different acts. He realized that Hamlet is acting like a mad person so that he can get to know about what is actually Claudius' plan and how Claudius and Gertrude developed the illicit relationship and how they killed Father Hamlet, because he was not able to trust the ghost, Father Ghost's revelation or Father Ghost message. So he wanted to confirm. So that's why he started acting like a mad person, but he is not actually a mad person. But Ophelia thought that Hamlet had become completely mad, and when generally it's a tendency of a woman, when they were neglected, when they were not treated properly, when they were ill treated properly, they get deserted, they get disturbed, they get depressed. So that is one of the reasons why Ophelia felt Hamlet has rejected her, but actually Hamlet didn't reject her. That is why he attended even the funeral of Ophelia, where they picked up fight, Hamlet and Laertes.
Okay, sir.
We'll go in detail the story, right? Now,
Yes, sir.
let us go to the next slide. Venkatesh sir, is it now clear the characters of the Hamlet story?
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Right. Now, Ghoshji, what we are going to do is we are going to apply the tragic Shakespearean tragedy features to this Hamlet's play. Now, who is the noble birth character in this play? Tell me, Ghoshji.
Hamlet only.
He is a prince of Denmark. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So he is not an ordinary person. Now he is from a royal family and he has a noble birth. So when the people from the royal family are the people of the noble birth, when they suffer, then the audience will get all those emotions and connect it. So that's why Shakespeare has used noble birth, and in this play the noble birth is Prince of Denmark, who is Hamlet. And who is the tragic hero in this play? Hamlet?
Hamlet only.
Hamlet only. Then he had fallen from the heights of glory to the depths of degradation. What is that fall? He had fallen into insanity. Though he acted, but he has lost his emotions, he has lost his motive, he has lost his purpose, and now he is fully confused whether to take revenge or avenge his father's death. In Christian morality or in Christian belief system, revenge is wrong and forgiveness is the best. That means whoever wants to take revenge against the people who ill-treated or created problems in life, that is against the Christian morality. So now Claudius, when he killed his father, when his father ghost revealed that information or secret to our Hamlet, he was not able to understand whether to follow his Christian morality or to believe this ghost. So that's why it creates a lot of confusion, lot of procrastination, lot of irresoluteness in the character of Hamlet. So he had fallen from heights of glory to depth of glory. He is a royal person, he is a prince, but he started acting like an insane person, like a mad person.
Sir, here degradation means such kind of procrastination.
See, for example,
Degradation.
for example, Ghoshji, you are a teacher in school, correct?
Yes, sir.
Above you, principal is there, correct? Ghosh?
Yes, sir.
Right. Principal position is better than you, am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, suddenly, if principal
Yes,
was
sir.
found in corruption or he misbehaved with any girl, he was booked under POXO Act. Now, he was arrested and sent to jail. Now, what is his fall? Is it small fall or a big fall?
Big fall.
Because if it is done by a gardener or a cleaner in the school, it is of course offense, but that will not become as important as the principal committing the crime.
Yes, sir.
Understood? So these
Yes,
noble characters had fallen from the heights of glory. They are noble people. They are the role models for the entire generation. They are the people who guide and control and dictate terms to others. When they fall, people get connected to their fall. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, what is the tragic flaw found in Hamlet's character? Irresoluteness or procrastination? Ghoshji, Venkatesh sir, what is the tragic flaw?
Irresoluteness and procrastination.
So, tragic flaw is also called as hamartia. Hamertia can also be synonym like hubris, overpride. So Hamertia is a tragic flaw, and in Hamlet the tragic flaw is irresoluteness or procrastination. He postponed things.
What are the meanings of those words?
Right.
Irresoluteness and procrastination.
Irresoluteness and procrastination. Procrastination is postponement of things.
Okay.
Hamlet was not able to take action at that moment or immediately. When he came to know that his father was killed by Claudius, he was not taking revenge immediately. He is procrastinating the revenge drama. The reason is he was in a confusion whether to believe the father ghost or not. So to make himself to understand and believe what his father ghost said is correct, he took one experiment. He enacted one small play, the mouse trap in the Shakespearean Hamlet, and to show that he can understand whether Claudius and Gertrude are real culprits or not. So procrastination is postponement of things. Understood, Venkatesh sir?
Yes, sir, understood.
Now, what is irresoluteness? He was not capable, or he was not having the power to take a decision. Because when we want to take a decision, we need to be strong-minded, whether it goes right or wrong, but we'll take a decision. If you are not strong-minded, we cannot take a decision. Irresoluteness, he doesn't have that ability to take a decision to kill Claudius or not to kill Claudius. In one of the acts, he found Claudius praying alone. That was one of the easiest ways or occasions or chance for Hamlet to avenge his father's death, but he was not able to take the decision. He believed that, or it was told to him in Christian morality, whoever is praying and when they were killed, and if death happens to the person when he is in prayers, he will go to heaven. Now Hamlet wants to kill Claudius to take revenge, and he doesn't want to send him to heaven after killing him. So all these things are the characteristic flaws or tragic flaws which made the character of Hamlet to become a tragic hero. So irresoluteness means lack of decision making. Procrastination is postponement of things. Understood, Venkatesh sir?
Yes. Yes, sir, understood.
Right. What about Ghoshji?
Sir, I can understand.
Right. Now, what is the conflict in the character of Hamlet? Within indecision. He can't take decisions. He was in confusion whether to take decision or not to take decision, whether his decision is right, whether decision is wrong. So all those things are internal conflict. Whether or not to take revenge over the murderer of his father, irresoluteness or procrastination. So this is the conflict which is created in the character of Hamlet. I suppose in the last class I told you, Ghoshji, it was not easy for me to understand the character of Hamlet. So many years I studied Hamlet, but I was not able to understand what made the character of Hamlet so popular in English literature. Everybody talks about Hamlet, 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 but I never sensed that kind of importance and greatness to Hamlet character unless one day I figured out that everybody is a bit of Hamlet. Everybody has a smack of Hamlet. We also postpone things. We also can't take decisions on time, in time. So that's why our life has become like this. Did I explain these things to you, Ghoshji?
Yes, sir. Yes, you explain, sir.
Right. So when you understand the Hamlet in the realistic manner, we all have this kind of a bit of Hamlet. We don't take decisions on time. We procrastinate things. So all the miseries in our life, we are also one of the reasons, our responsibility we should have. Right. Suma ma'am, I'm audible?
Yes, sir.
Alveni madam will join. By the time I'll complete one tragedy, ma'am, you can continue. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Right. Then what is the external conflict here, Venkatesh and Ghosh? It is the conflict between Hamlet and Claudius. Ghoshji?
Yes, sir.
So the internal conflict is not able to take the proper decisions, irresoluteness and procrastination of things. The external conflict is in between Hamlet and Claudius. Now, what is the supernatural element, or what are the supernatural elements?
Please explain the external conflict once again. Means what is the external conflict?
Internal conflict is inside our mind.
Not internal, sir. External.
External is the conflict between the characters. Hamlet has to suffer internal conflict with inside to take decision and not to take decision, and he has to fight with the person who killed his father and who is none other than his own uncle Claudius. Is it not a conflict, external conflict?
It is also internal conflict. Mean it is going on in his mind only, that whether to kill or not his uncle. But why it is external conflict? It is going on in his mind only, sir.
Conflict between Hamlet and Claudius is internal or external?
That is external.
That's what I'm telling. That is external conflict. Internal conflict is restlessness and procrastination, lack of taking decision.
Okay.
That is internal.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Right. Shall I go to the next point?
Yes, sir.
What we are doing is we are applying the skeleton of tragedy features to the Hamlet, and if Hamlet fits into that skeleton, then Hamlet is considered as a tragedy. That means we are taking the skeleton structure of a tragedy and we are trying to apply that skeleton to all the plays of the Shakespearean tragedies. Correct?
Yes, sir. Yes,
That
sir.
means in every Shakespearean tragedy, we will find a tragic hero, we will find a tragic flaw, we will find a conflict within and without, and we will find a supernatural element. So what are the supernatural elements in the Hamlet story? It is Father Hamlet. In exam, they'll ask you a question, what is the machinery used in Hamlet? They'll give you Claudius, Polonius, Ophelia, and Father Ghost, Hamlet. What is this supernatural element and machinery used? Venkatesh sir?
Hamlet's father's ghost.
Hamlet's
Father Ghost.
Hamlet's father ghost. Then we come to the next point called comic relief. So what is the comic relief in Hamlet? It is grave digger's scene. Which scene? Grave digger's scene. And then it evokes sympathy. The character of Hamlet evokes sympathy. That is why he is called tragic hero, because the notion of revenge drives him, while his Christian morality and inclination simultaneously exhorts him. So we all have so many religious beliefs, and we believe some in our religion and we believe some in our practical life. So through our practical experience, we'll understand something. Through religious beliefs, we'll try to follow something, and that will become a clash, and that creates a lot of problems in our life. To make you understand, I'll give one simple example how we can also become a tragic heroes in our life. If you're already a tragic hero, please don't get offended by my explanation. For example, taking dowry. Suma ma'am is there. Taking dowry is right or wrong, Ghoshji?
Yes, sir. It is definitely wrong.
Because you are from West Bengal, correct? Because in West Bengal, giving dowry and taking dowry is not considered as a proper manners of a man. So nobody gives dowry and nobody takes dowry in West Bengal. Am I right or wrong, Ghoshji?
Sir, yes, sir, yes,
Right.
sir. But there are some also means who take dowry, they demand it. There are some till now.
Right. But what is the percentage of such kind of people?
That will be, I can say, that is 15%.
Right. If you come down to Suma ma'am's state and Venkatesh sir's state, it is almost all 95%, or I can say even 100%. Without dowry, nobody marries. Without giving dowry, nobody wants to marry. Both things are happening. Right?
Really, sir?
Really.
Yes, it's really.
Really. Now tell me, Ghosh. Ghosh, are you there?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Will you take dowry or not?
No, sir, not at all.
Not at all. Because that is your belief system, correct?
Yes, sir.
That is your belief system. How does the belief system and the values evolved or came and mind and all those things? It is a different story in psychology that I don't want to go. But your belief system, your morality made you to think and believe that taking dowry is wrong or it is not correct. But there are so many people in this India, in our country, who don't marry a girl or who don't marry a man without giving dowry or without taking dowry. Now, whom do we have to follow? Ghoshji.
Sorry, sir. Repeat the question again.
Whom shall we take an example? Those who take dowry or those who avoid dowry?
Those who avoid dowry.
Why? That will become a bad example for a person who has taken dowry or given dowry.
Why, sir? Actually, she is just that person is breaking the tradition. Actually, the girls or the bride's father got always pressure that he got demanded from the groom actually that he will have to pay a lot of money for his daughters. So actually, that kind of groom is just what should I say? He is breaking the tradition, sir.
Right, fine. So coming back to the story, in most parts of India, whoever doesn't take dowry or don't take dowry and marry and they get married, other people will take lot of dowry and they will enjoy life in front of them only with lot of luxurious homes or apartments and cars and all those things. And people like you want to earn money with your hard work and you want to live with dignity. When you compare yourself with their life, sometimes we feel inside that I would also have taken dowry so that I could also have a easy money and I can also have an easy life. So that creates some kind of confusion in the mind, because the notion of revenge drives the Hamlet and his Christian morality and inclination simultaneously exhausts him. There will be a conflict between within and without. So in the same way, there are so many people who don't want to take dowry and there are so many people who will take dowry. So that is different and depends upon person to person. Correct, Goji?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that evokes sympathy. I had not taken dowry, so I can tell you.
Sir, you told about me only, but actually, only as I told you, only for my all sudden paralysis, sudden stroke, I need to get married. I didn't take a single money, only for my father treatment and also to look after my parents. Actually, just 4 or 5 months ago, I got married. I didn't take a little money, sir.
That's what I am telling, Goshi. You are clear in your notions and you are clear in your ideas and you are clear in your morality. Because when I worked in West Bengal, I understood that people look very cheap if somebody asks dowry in West Bengal. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
so that is your morality. What I am trying to tell you that how come this Hamlet turns into a tragic hero, because there will be a conflict between the morality or the Christian morality and taking the revenge, because according to Christian morality, forgiveness is given the highest form of humanity, and when he knows that forgiveness is giving the highest form of humanity, by forgiving his uncle Claudius he can go to heaven, but he wanted to take revenge. So these two internal conflict made Hamlet to become a tragic hero. That is what actually my point to explain this topic. How the sympathy evoked among audience when they watch the Hamlet character. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, in other feature of Shakespearean tragedy is soliloquies. So Hamlet Shakespeare used 7 soliloquies in his play Hamlet. That means soliloquies are part of Shakespearean tragedy. Now let us go to the next slide. Do you find any difference in the explanation compared to your professors and my class, Goji?
No, sir. No, sir.
Right, fine. Now, what is the extra information before we go into the exact text examination point of view? Here, the play is the thing wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king is said by Hamlet. And what is the name of the play which is part of the main play is? The play in the play is The Murder of Gonjago. And the subtitle for the name of this Murder of Gonjago is The Mouse Trap, and it is found in Act 2, Scene 2. So, what is the play within the play, Venkatesh sir?
The Murder of Gonjago.
Subtitle?
The subtitle is The Mouse Trap, Act 2 and Scene 2.
Right. These type of questions will come in exams. And then in that mouse trap or in that Murder of Gonjago, which the play inside the play, to find out whether the Claudius and Gertrude were the real culprits or not, Hamlet staged a play, and in that there are some characters who duplicate the original Claudius, Hamlet and Gertrude. Now you need to understand these are the characters in the play and these are the characters in the Shakespearean play. There are 2 plays. One is play in the play and another one is the main play. So in Hamlet play, senior Hamlet, Gertrude and Claudius are the characters. But the play which was staged by Hamlet to find out whether it is real culprits Claudius and Polonius and these people or not. So he staged one play, and in that Gonjago is a character who played the role of senior Hamlet, and Baptista is the character who played the role of Gertrude, and Lucinus is the character who played the role of Claudius. समझ में आया गोजी?
Please explain once again this character in the within play.
First thing is, when Hamlet wanted to take a decision, wanted to confirm whether his father was murdered by Claudius or not, he set his play. He staged a play with the help of the characters or actors brought by the Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, and he enacted one play, or he staged a play in the play of the Hamlet. And what is the name of the play in the play is The Murder of Gonzago, and the subtitle of the play is The Mousetrap. So he wanted to trap Claudius to see exactly what would be the reaction of the Claudius when this play was performed, which is actually replica or mocking of the king's Hamlet death. इधर तक समझ में आ गया?
Yes sir, yes sir.
In that play, now there are 3 characters, and these 3 characters are acting like these original characters in the Hamlet play. So Gonzago is the king of Hamlet, or he is duplicating senior Hamlet. That is why The Murder of Gonzago. What is the title of this play in the play? Gosh?
The murder of
The murder of Gonzago.
So Gonzago is the major character, and he is representing senior Hamlet. And Baptista is a character, and it is actually portraying the character of Gertrude, who is the wife of senior Hamlet. And the original villain is Claudius in the story, and this character is enacted by Licinius in the play.
Yes sir.
समझ में आया गोजी?
Yes sir.
So what I am trying to tell you, when you read Hamlet's story and when you feel that you understood Hamlet's story, that is of course right, but the way I am explaining is in examination point of view only. Story everybody knows, Goshji, what is Hamlet, why he killed Polonius, who killed, all those things are there, but in examination point of view we have to break down the story into small pieces and bits, so that in that piece, in that bit, what type of questions you are going to get in the exam. So that is what I am doing here. Shall I proceed, Goji?
Yes sir, yes sir.
Alright. Now, there are few statements given by some people in the story which are very important in examination point of view. He says, I love Ophelia, 40,000 brothers could not, with all their quantity of love, make up my sum. So when he was criticized, Hamlet was criticized that he was not in love with Ophelia, then he says that 40,000 brothers could not match with my love. That means even Ophelia has 40,000 brothers like Laterus, but my love is superior to Ophelia. And this is actually a hyperbole or overstatement used by Shakespeare to express how much Hamlet really loves Ophelia. Now what is hyperbole? Goshji and Venkatesh sir?
Yes sir, it is an exaggerated statement, and the speaker says such kind of statement for the sake of emphasis, just like William Wordsworth has used in his Daffodils, that 10,000 were at a glance.
Right. Exaggeration. Venkatesh sir, understood?
Yeah, exaggeration.
Right.
Hyperbole.
Next, one more very important statement. Neither a borrower nor a lender be. For don't loath of lose both itself and a friend, and borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry. This is a very famous and a wise advice given by Polonius to his son Laterus. They'll ask you this, they'll give you this kind of quote, and they will ask you to find out in exam who said to whom this quote. So this quote was given by Polonius to his son Laterus. You want to know what is the meaning of this quote, Goji?
Yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. Please explain.
Never give money to anybody, never borrow money from anybody, that too mostly from your friends. Because if you give money to your friend, either you lose money or you lose your friend.
Yes, it is really true sir.
Really?
Whether you borrow money from your friend,
If you borrow money your friend, then you know what to do.
we have to give back.
Whether we have given or not, we only know. You only know. So, Suma ma'am, are you enjoying English class?
Sir,
Right. So don't give money to anybody, ma'am, and don't ask money, because when you give money to your friend, either you lose your friend or lose your money. But if you take money from others, it is your personal choice. Okay. And he says one more very famous wise sentence: beware of a contest. I have every man thy ear, but few thy voice. He says beware of contest, don't compete, and listen to every man. Give everybody thy ear, but few thy voice. Listen to everybody, don't give promises to everybody. So these are the very famous sentences or lines from the Shakespeare Hamlet, and very wise enough to explain or to give this kind of wise advices to his son. So Polonius is considered to be the wisest father in the English literature. You are aware about that, Goji?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So he's a
Sir, the first hyperbolic statement. This statement is told by Hamlet only, and to whom, sir? I love Ophelia, 40,000 brothers could not.
to his brother, to his Ophelia's brother, I suppose. I'll remember if I could remember properly. He says to his Ophelia's brother, I loved Ophelia, 40,000 brothers could not, or to Horatio. I'll confirm it. Okay, I'm not getting that immediately now.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now let us go to the act wise, scene wise story. I'll not take much time. I'll just explain because you can read this afterwards. So I'll not explain. I'll just read out this information. I copied and pasted on screen so that it will be useful for you. So first one, the tragedy of Hamlet, Prince of Denmark is the original title for this play, and it was first performed in between 1601 to 1602, and this is the longest play of William Shakespeare, and the entire play is set in Elsinore Castle in Denmark. Then the characters are Hamlet, Prince of Denmark, Claudius is the King of Denmark and Hamlet's uncle, and Gertrude is the Queen of Denmark and Hamlet's mother, and Ghost of Hamlet's father. Then we have Polonius, who is the chief counselor of Claudius, Ophelia, daughter of Polonius and Hamlet's love interest, and Laertes, son of Polonius. Horatio is the loyal friend and confidant of Hamlet. Confidant means friend. And then we have Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, very important act and scene in the play, and they are the childhood friends of Hamlet. And at the end of the play, the prince who came from Norway becomes the king of the Denmark, and his name is Fortinbras. And then the story runs in this way in Act 1. Good evening, Alveni madam. Am I audible? I'll take 5 minutes to 10 minutes, ma'am. I'll complete this one. Then I'll allow you. I mean, then we'll start the Hindi class. So I'll just complete the class. Goji, am I audible clearly? Venkatesh sir?
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So in Act 1, 5 acts are there. In Act 1, Horatio tells Hamlet about the ghost of his father. So Horatio was the one who informed Hamlet about his father Hamlet's ghost appearance in the castle. Hamlet decided to wait for the ghost at night. So the ghost appears and tells Hamlet that his father was murdered by Claudius. Claudius had poured poison in his ears when he was asleep. The ghost tells Hamlet to avenge his father's death. That means the death also will be asked in exam. How was father Hamlet was killed? By pouring poison, by stabbing, or by beheading. So such kind of questions may come. So he was killed by Claudius by pouring poison in his ears. And who provoked Hamlet to kill Claudius? It is a ghost, father ghost. The ghost tells Hamlet to avenge his father's death. Next one, I suppose I found a shortcut, I can move here. In Act 2, Polonius thinks Hamlet is mad in love with his daughter Ophelia. King Claudius and Queen Gertrude welcome Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, friends of Hamlet, and ask them to find out the reason behind Hamlet's weird behavior. When Hamlet came to know about these things, he started acting like a mad person to find out the real intentions behind the marriage of his mother Gertrude to his uncle. Then to understand to confirm what father ghost told, whether it is right or wrong, Hamlet decides to stage a play, and the name of the stage is The Murder of Gonzago. This features a murder similar to the way his father was murdered according to what the ghost said. And when the play was staged, Claudius was not able to watch the play when the poison poured into the ears of the character, played the father ghost, and he left the play. So that made Hamlet to confirm that it was actually Claudius and Gertrude planned and killed his father. Hamlet wants to study the reaction of Claudius on watching the play. Then in Act 3, Claudius observes Hamlet and Ophelia and is convinced that Hamlet is not mad for love. So Ophelia and Hamlet were actually in deep love, but Claudius made Ophelia and Polonius to believe that Hamlet was actually exploiting physically Ophelia, and they made some gap between Hamlet and Ophelia. Claudius feels guilty and uncomfortable while watching the play Murder of Gonzago, leaves the room in haste. And then when Hamlet confirmed that Claudius was the one who killed his father, when he was asked to come to Gertrude's room, while he was going towards Gertrude's room, he found Claudius praying in his room silently, and that was one of the best opportunities for Hamlet to kill Claudius. But Hamlet watches Claudius praying and decided not to kill him because of his Christian morality. He believed that if a person is killed when he was praying, he would go directly to heaven. Then Hamlet visits Gertrude's chamber and they start fighting bitterly. And in that confusion, what happened? Somebody started shouting behind the curtain. And Hamlet thought that it is Claudius who was standing behind the curtain, and he stabbed him with his sword or killed him, but actually it is not Claudius, it is Polonius. So Hamlet accidentally kills Polonius, who was hiding in the Gertrude's chamber. They will ask you a question: who actually killed by Hamlet when he was in Gertrude's chamber? It is, answer will be Polonius, Claudius, Laterus and Horatio. Who is the person? Venkateshan sir?
Sorry, sir, come again.
Who is the person was killed by Hamlet in the Gertrude's chamber?
Claudius.
No, it is Polonius. He mistakenly
Sorry,
identified Claudius as Polonius, so he killed by mistake Polonius.
No,
Hamlet
yes.
killed Polonius, thinking that he was Claudius.
Hamlet killed Polonius, but he was thinking that this is Claudius.
Right, hiding behind the
mistakenly.
curtains by mistake.
Yeah.
Next, in Act 4, Claudius sends Hamlet to England with Rosengurge and Guilderstone, tells the English king to execute Hamlet. His plan fails as Hamlet returns back to Denmark, fooling his friends. So Claudius sent Hamlet to England and thought like England king would read that letter, which is kept in a secret cover or a box, and Hamlet would be killed and executed there safely. But Hamlet found that letter and he escaped from that and he returned to Denmark. Claudius convinces Laterus and Hamlet is solely responsible for the death of Polonius. When Polonius was killed by Hamlet, Claudius sent a message to Polonius' son and he convinced Laterus that Hamlet actually intentionally killed and murdered Polonius. Then Claudius proposes a fencing match between Hamlet and Laterus with the intention of King Hamlet. Even in the graveyard also, when Ophelia was buried, when Hamlet reaches the graveyard, Laterus and Hamlet, they pick up quarrel, they started a brawl, but that was somehow ended. But then came this Claudius wisely proposed a fencing match between Hamlet and Laterus with the intention of killing Hamlet. So what actually they did is, Claudius did is, he kept one poison, water, so that Hamlet will get tired in between match and he will drink and he will die. That is option B or plan B. And then he poisoned the tip of the Laterus sword so that when Laterus stabbed Hamlet, he would get killed. But what happened? By mistake, Gertrude drinks that water, poisonous water, and Hamlet was stabbed by Laterus. And in the match, what happened? They exchange their swords, and Hamlet also stabs Laterus with that poisonous sword. So, and then Gertrude reports.
Sir, I can't understand the last portions you discussed. Last portions.
Where did you can't understand?
Claudius.
Goji?
Claudius convinces Laterus that Hamlet is solely responsible for the death of Polonius. After that,
so what happened? Laterus was furious because he came to know that Hamlet murdered his father, and Ophelia was drowned because of Hamlet. Correct?
yes, sir.
So when he was convinced by Claudius in an evil manner, in a wishful manner, taking revenge against Hamlet, Laterus agreed for a fencing match between Hamlet. इधर तक समझ में आ गया?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So in that match, Claudius and Gertrude came with a plan. What is the plan? The Laterus sword will be poisoned. The tip of the Laterus sword will be poisoned, so that Laterus will get an advantage in the fencing match and will kill Hamlet. But what actually happened? They exchanged the swords in a match and they stab each other with the same poisonous sword. So both were infected by the poison, and in that commotion, Gertrude by mistake drinks the poisonous water or drink kept kept for Hamlet. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. Then what happened at the end of the story is, where am I? Okay. At the end of the story, what happens? Act 5, Gravedigger's scene. Hamlet meets Horatio in the graveyard of Ophelia, contemplates the morality. Hamlet and Latrus engage. Alvin madam, 5 minutes. Alvin madam, 5 minutes. So in the last, at the end of the entire play, Hamlet stabbed Latrus stabbed Hamlet. Gertrude was killed by taking that poisonous drink, and Hamlet stabbed Claudius. So all were killed at the end of the fencing match. All were killed at the end of the tragedy. When Hamlet was alive in the last moments, then he called Horatio and explains Horatio the truth to Fronterbreas, who becomes the new king, and Hamlet told Horatio to tell his story to this world before his death. And at the end of the final scene, at the end of the last part of the play Hamlet, what happens? The king of Fronterbreas, okay, he comes to the Denmark, and when you see all people were killed, all royal family, when entire royal family was killed by each other, then he became the king of the Denmark. So that is a tragic end of the story Hamlet, because all major characters were killed at the end of the play. So that is why it is called a tragedy, or it is a revenge tragedy. Goji, samajh mein aaya?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sounds good.
Right. Now what is crucial in this story is, it is not about the story of Hamlet. It is about the bits and pieces which I explained to you in the beginning of the story. Right? From there only you will get the questions.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Understood? Because as a literature student, everybody knows these things. But it is a revenge tragedy. So it is, what is the revenge tragedy structure? It has 5 important elements. Just remember, afterwards you can study. It has 5 elements. Venkatesh sir, am I audible clearly?
Yes, sir. It's audible clearly.
It has 5 features of a revenge play. It has exposition, usually by a ghost or by victims in their final moment. So somebody will reveal their death to the characters in the story. Then anticipation. An elaborate plan for carrying out the revenge is prepared. That means Hamlet has given an elaborate plan how to kill Claudius. So that comes under anticipation. Second feature is anticipation. First feature is structure of revenge play is exposition. Second feature is anticipation. I may be a bit fast, but that is the only way I can complete the syllabus. Third one is confrontation. What is confrontation? Where the Avenger and the villains come to face. Both Claudius and Hamlet, when they came face to face, that becomes a confrontation. Hamlet wants to confront Claudius to accept and agree that he is the murderer. And Claudius wants to enrage Hamlet so that he can live life happily, peacefully as a king of the Denmark. Then fourth point is delay. The Avenger keeps postponing taking action due to moral or personal reasons. We already discussed why the procrastination, why the irresoluteness of character Hamlet is. He was actually inclination towards the Christian morality and his personal reasons. If he kills a person who is praying, he will go to heaven. So those kind of things made delay in taking action. And the last feature, or the fifth feature of the revenge tragedy is fulfillment. Both the Avenger and the villain are destroyed along with innocent bystanders. Not only the hero, but also villain, and most of the characters in the tragedy are killed or will be killed at the end of the tragedy. So these are the 5 different or important features, structure of a revenge tragedy. Exposition will be there. First, the characters will come to know about the death of a person, then they anticipate, they will prepare a plan to kill, then they will confront the villain, then they will delay in taking action or the revenge, and then finally the fulfillment means all the major characters will get killed by each other, and even some innocent characters also in the play. So this is the structure of a revenge play. And what is the tragic flaw in the character of Hamlet? It is failure to take or act fast enough. सोच के दिमाग खराब कर लेते, लेकिन कुछ एक्शन नहीं करते, कुछ डिसीजन नहीं लेते. घंटों तरह दिन भर हम सोचते रहते हैं, बट वी कांट टेक अ प्रॉपर डिसीजन. दैट इज कॉल्ड इर्रेसोल्यूटनेस और प्रोक्रेस्टिनेशन. समझ में आ रहा है? घोष जी,
Yes sir, yes sir.
आप कितना दिन टाइम लिया शादी करने के लिए, बताइए जल्दी बताइए, जल्दी बताइए.
Sir, actually, as I told you, it is all on a sudden. I need to take the decision only for my parents actually, because I myself was unable to continue my reading arithmetic study. Only for that purpose, I just took 1 to 2 months.
Okay, you took 1 to 2 months to get married. And how many
Yes, sir.
matches you have gone through or seen?
Sorry, sir.
कितना लड़कियों को देखा आपने शादी करने के पहले?
Only one, only one.
Right.
As I told you that the only one option that I need to get married, only to run my study and only to maintain the family, sir.
ठीक है, तो आप और मैं दोनों एक ही है. मैं भी एक ही लड़की को देखा, उससे ही शादी कर लिया हूँ और 20 साल से उधर
Yes, yes.
उससे ही आराम से रह रहा हूँ. ओके, सो वी डोंट हैव दैट काइंड
Yes,
ऑफ
sir, yes,
Hamlet's problem, you know, irrelevance, no decision. But in other words, we are haste in taking decisions to marry. ओके गोजी, वो डिफरेंट टॉपिक है, हम बाद में पर्सनली बात कर लेंगे दोनों, ठीक है?
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So these are the topics which we have completed in this class about Hamlet. Examination point of view, Hamlet is very very important. No question paper can be prepared by any question paper setter without taking the questions from the Hamlet. ठीक है? And Macbeth, Goshi, let us do in the next class. ठीक है ना?
Macbeth.
Sir, anticipation and the first two features, anticipation and another one. If you explain not today, on the next class, then it will be better for me. Means
नहीं,
some
अभी
other
कर
students
देंगे.
are waiting for the.
अभी कर देंगे, 2 मिनट में हो जाएगा, 2 मिनट में हो जाएगा. एक्सपोजिशन मतलब आपको सच कैसे पता चलेगा?
Sorry, sir.
सच तो कुछ पता चल, वॉट एवर हैपेंड इन द पास्ट, somebody will come and tell you, no, these things happened in the past.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that is exposition. That means the protagonist will come to know about the previous incidents or accidents with the help of an ghost or by victims in their final moment. Before they die, they will tell. So that is called exposition. How the exposition is used in Hamlet story is, his father ghost appeared and he revealed the mystery behind the death. That is comes under exposition.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. And anticipation.
Then once you come to know about the fact, the real mystery, when it is revealed to you, then you will have different plans to take revenge, and that planning is called anticipation. An elaborate plan for carrying out the revenge is prepared. Plan A, plan B, how to kill, when to kill, why to kill, and even after killing, how to justify. All those things become part of the plan. That is called as anticipation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now I can understand, sir.
Fine. So we could complete Sari Ghoshi. I cannot take Macbeth. Macbeth is a different story. He is a overvaulting ambition. He wanted to become king and he wanted to rule the country. That is a different story that I'll take in the next class. So now Alveri ma'am
Yes,
is
sir.
waiting,
Sure,
but as we know, let me just stop the class. Thanks for watching this video. If you have come to the end of this video, I believe that you are interested to watch a few more videos related to the topic. So now you can check this out video or watch this one. Click this video. It will take you into another video.